Hello, this tutorial is on Photopea selection tools, the raster mask, and our blend mode. Some of these things you've already practiced a bit. So we're going to start with our selection tools that are close to the move tool. You've already practiced with the quick selection. We're going to work with these tools, mainly the ellipse select, lasso selection tool, polygonal and magnetic. Rectangle is very similar to ellipse, so I probably won't go into that. So I'm going to File, Open an Image. This is a good way, selections are a good way to combine pictures in Photoshop or Photopea. So I have one of my nice landscapes, and I am going to show you first the lasso select tool. That's really just like a tool for selecting any area quickly and organically. So there aren't any straight lines that you can use with this tool. So it's really just like making a blob or trying to grab something really quickly. I just drew around and closed it up. You have to make sure you close up your shape. Sometimes you have to double click if it isn't closing. And then I have my marching ants, and I can move this selection around anywhere. So if there's a person in the picture you want to select, you can do a quick lasso tool selection. There aren't any straight lines to be used in this selection tool. Command D or Control D to deselect what's on the screen. Now we will go to the polygonal lasso, which is the opposite. It's all based on straight lines. So if you click in another area, click down, and click back at the start, you see I have a triangle here, and I can move that around. It's all straight lines. This is really good for architecture or certain machines or furniture or anything with straight lines. So it's the opposite of organic and natural. It's a really good tool to use for anything with hard edges. All right, Command D to deselect that. And the magnetic lasso is very similar to the lasso tool, but it's got these little anchor points that act like magnets. So if you're trying to select an odd shape, you could, I'm going to try to do this tree. I'm going to start here, and as you just draw along the edge, you see that there are these little anchor points that are dropped, and the tool is trying to get the edge of whatever you're drawing around. It's a really nice way to go too. It's a little more precise than the lasso tool. And again, I won't do the whole thing here, but you need to close up whatever you are working on. Oops, I'm having a hard time on this. And that didn't work, but I'm going to say you got the idea. I could try it again a little bit here. Let's go here. I don't want to take too long on this tool, but basically you have to close it up. I'm trying to put more points on. There we go. And then you can have this selection. It's just like the lasso, but with little magnets that are attaching to whatever you're selecting. Command D to deselect. Now, this one is very interesting, the ellipse and the rectangle. I'm going to select the ellipse. And if you just draw with the ellipse tool, you see you get these egg shapes. They can be really thin or very thick and long. If you want an oval, that's all you have to do. Command D. But if you want a perfect circle, you need to hold the Shift key. Hold the Shift key down, and then you will get your perfect circle. If you hold the space bar, remember you can move things, so that's what I'm doing. You have to sometimes work all of your fingers together. So now I have a perfect circle. I'm going to now put something into that circle. You do that by going File, open and place. So I'm not making a new hoagie, I'm placing into this hoagie right here. So open and place, pick the picture that you want to put into that selection, and it will come in on top. You can get your move tool and move it slightly. You'll be able to move it later, but I like to just get, it generally in line. And here's what you do to get rid of all that stuff outside of the circle. We're going to mask it out. So we go down to our bottom of our layers, our icons down here. You've already used a few, and we're going to go to this one. It's a rectangle with a circle in the middle. That's our raster mask. So all you do is click on that, and boom, your photo is fit into that selection. And you can see on your layer now you have your photo that came in and your mask. So what is black conceals what's underneath, and what is white reveals what is underneath. And so you can move this whole thing as one if you want, but let's say you want to make some adjustments. Then what you have to do is unlock these two things. Unlock the mask from the picture. So you just click on the lock and click on your picture, and then you can move your picture inside. Now be careful, because look, there's a straight line there. I don't want to move it so that it's not fitting all the way into the picture. So you can also edit, free transform, hold your shift key and make this bigger or smaller, however you want. You can turn it inside. So whatever you can do to a picture, you can do to the picture inside the mask. And just check. If you click on the mask, on the other hand, you'll move the mask, and you won't move that with the picture because they're not locked together. So you want to make sure it's placed perfectly, so you got your perfect circle or whatever shape you made, and your photo fitting in nicely, and not like that, like this, where there's a straight line in there that's showing the bottom of that other picture. So you want to get it real perfect, and then lock it back up, put it where you want to put it in your scene. And then the last thing, play around with your blend modes if you like. Click here on normal, and we've already used blend mode multiply, but you can try a number of different blend modes to help integrate your photo with the background or with other photos. This is very helpful. Some work well, some don't. And that's basically all this demo will be describing. So you file, open in place after you have created a selection, and then you're going to click on the raster mask. That will create your mask, and then you can unlock the mask to move the picture around inside of the mask, and then make sure you lock everything back up again. This doesn't look too good. I'm just going to leave it at normal. It's up to you. All right, that's it for this one.